Well, cool.
Yeah.
Yes, so this is our new game, Alwa's Legacy.
First time we're streaming it. First time we're showing it on the internet like this.
And it's unfortunate we have our temp artwork.
Yeah.
And our temp logo. But everything's going to see, a lot of things going to be temp. It's still work in progress. This is a game in development. As you know, we are live on Kickstarter, so we haven't finished this game. That's why we're still working on it. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of temp assets and stuff like that. But once we get into the actual gameplay, that's part. Most of those areas we're going to visit are quite tuned up, although there are bits and pieces missing everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been taking the version that we have right now.
Yep.
And just put it on Twitch to see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, you said you'd be playing Alwas a couple of weeks ago. Sneaky that you meant. I was like, well, we didn't really actually. we had plans to play Alwa's Awakening on, lo and behold, Mixer actually, due to the fact that we released it on Xbox One last week.
Yeah.
But that kind of fell through. We took some time getting verified, and we didn't have the proper gear and technical issues to stream on Mixer, so we ended up postponing that. Thank you so much for the follow, Messi82. But we are gonna stream Alwa's Awakening someday.
Yeah.
Probably not that far away.
Thank you for the host.
Yes. So yeah, should we
start?
Yeah, I guess so.
This is a demo version of the game, so a lot of stuff were cut out, so we don't spoil or anything.
Yep.
And but most of it is kind of the same. The intro and the start part is what's different right now in the demo build.
Yeah.
We have a different start and different intro to put you in the action a bit earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you have backed this and you'll be getting the actual game next year, this won't spoil anything of the actual story. It's basically just gameplay. There's no story elements right now.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone. Thank you Chili Bills for the following. Nice to see you here, Chili. Billy, how are you today? And thank you so much for all your feedback on Twitter. Chili Billy is one of our biggest fans and biggest supporters, and he's always helpful. He did a lot of feedback on the Kickstarter campaign before we launched it. It's a very nice guy. So much to have you here. Yeah, gameplay can also be a spoiler, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we have our setting screen, and we shouldn't probably mess too much with that.
Should probably not mess too much with that.
We should probably but yes, so let's start.
Yeah.
Good loading screen.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, as you can see, you're playing as Zoe, and you can jump. If you aren't familiar, this is the sequel to Alwa's Awakening, which I'm guessing most people in the chat are. Does it support guitar controllers?
Probably. Depends on which one.
Yeah, most likely. If we're using the same technical solution to host controller support that we did for Awakening as we did for Legacy, so since it worked in Awakening, it should work in this game as well.
Yeah.
So for the demo now, we've sealed off different areas with these walls,
stone walls
doors.
of sorts.
Yeah.
I guess the people in here walled off the areas that Zoe ain't supposed to see yet.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, you can jump and you can attack, and that's pretty much all you can do at the moment. And
as you can see now, we put the HUD inside of the game window as opposed to the first game, where all the UI elements were outside, to bring more of a modern touch to it, so to speak.
Yeah, and all the HUDs is actually should be able to change this without breaking anything.
Yeah.
So you can go to gameplay and turn off the HUD if you want to, and then you'll have all the UI elements will be showed around Zoe, the main character.
When you take damage, just heart under her and stuff like that.
Yeah. And these are checkpoints, and you can either attack them and save, or you can press up and save. And this is something we won't be revealing too much about now, but we didn't hide it for the demo. You're gonna have to guess what that is. But save game saves everything you picked up and everything.
Yeah. You might want to turn the HUD on now.
Yes, I want to do that. Look how we paused in the her frame is crouching.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Yes. Yep, so here's the first item. The yellow gemstone. Creates a powerful lightning attack. Explanation goes here, you should probably press the correct button.
Yeah, you're gonna see that text a lot. A lot of things have put text here.
Yeah, and we have a lot of placeholder text. It's quite easy to put placeholder text in the game. It's just fun, that's why I did that.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of time actually getting proper English in and, you know, make accurate sentences that work.
Yeah.
You can sit at the save point and cry, of course. There was a question. Which language should there be at the end? That's a good question. We kind of depends on the outcome of the Kickstarter. But we are aiming for EFIX, which is English, French, Italian, German, Spanish, and also Swedish. These were almost the language we launched Elvish Awakening with, I think. But depending on how development goes, we might be able to add other languages as well. So yeah, this is the tutorialization, and for this game we have these small but subtle prompts that show up every now and then. And we've added the support for different controllers. So if you're playing with, let's see where the camera's at, if you're playing with an Xbox One or 360 controller, you'll get the prompts for these controllers.
Yeah.
And we also have support for Switch Pro controller and DualShock 4, PlayStation 4, and also... no, that's about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the most popular controllers should be supported.
Yeah. So now you press fire to use a magic attack, and there's a button, and now you open a little door. So this is a simple way to show how to use the fire attack, the lightning attack.
Yeah.
Damn button prompts. Button prompts looking sweet, yes.
They do look sweet.
So she has temp dialogue, so
Yeah.
she should probably say something else than that. She should probably say hello and welcome to the demo.
Yeah.
So imagine she says that instead. That fire trail effect, yeah,
Thank you.
it's all this guy.
Yeah. Spent quite some time trying to get a nice looking effect without making it look... it was kind of hard getting it to fit with the pixels on the screen, so to speak. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I haven't really noticed that if you fall, it kind of starts the trail. Almost feels like it falls down. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, you can press up and attack as well, or B,
Yeah.
whichever you want. So we have support for both of it.
Yeah, exactly. A common request we had for Alwa's Awakening was the option to use a separate magic attack. But that didn't work because when we developed Awakening we only used the NES 8-bit controller.
Yeah.
So that's why we didn't have a dedicated magic attack, but we have this for this game. So you can press B. And you can of course rebind to whatever buttons you want. And these are the orbs that you collect, and these in this game they have a different function compared to... Let's see, I don't spoil in too much here, but they don't really work the same way they did in the first game.
Yeah.
How much can we say about how they work?
You will use them a lot more, and you will be wanting to grind them quite a bit. It will reward you in more gameplay, so to speak, if you get them.
Yeah. So speaking of temp dialogue, we've designed the game so that the characters in this game have a lot more. Wouldn't call it quests really, but they have more. They add more to the world compared to Alwa's Awakening.
Yeah.
And that required us to set up this advanced system of events where different characters do different things depending on what you've done to them, given to talk to them. And in order to properly program that, we have to give them like these temp dialogue in order to make sure everything works. So if it's correct, she'll have her idle dialogue, which is correct.
Yeah.
You can also drop through small ledges like this if you press down and jump. And you can destroy barrels, of course, and you can scare birds. Always a good.
Some very good features.
So here's another orb. And this is the guy who'll once you find all your magic attacks, which is the same as Alwa's Awakening, you'll have the 3 of them, as you can see in the HUD in your left corner, should be. Once you found them, you can go back to this guy and do stuff with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounded more explicit than it was. And this is also something new. We've added warp list, sort of, which this checkpoint is. And yes, Bird AI. It's all Kevin who wrote that. So this is the Eve. His dialogue is semi-finished, although it's quite temp so far.
Yeah, he gives you a better explanation than most other characters give to the current situation.
Yeah. And as you can see, we've added both portraits for all the characters and names, which we think give them a little bit more personality and backstory and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, can everyone hear the background music? Because I can barely hear it in my headphones.
Yeah, I turned it down a little bit.
Okay, but apparently you can hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, you said background outside. I thought you said music, but yeah. Yep. So here's the map, which is always good to have.
Mm-hmm.
And the map in this game looks like this, and you can use your left and right buttons, left and right on the controller in order to swap between different areas, and there you can see how much of the secrets you've explored. And there's also this huge demon face up in the top left corner here, which is where we're going now.
Yeah.
And you can hold legend to see what all different icons do. Yeah.
Yeah, we really felt the secret percentage was needed when this game started getting super huge or whatever. Like, it's gonna help you whenever you want to do 100% runs for the game.
Yeah. And here's a blacksmith, which is one of the characters. And can I make this jump? Yes, I can. Yeah, and you can also go down water in this game, but it'll kill you. So as you can see here, you have 3 bubbles, which correspond to how long you have left to live.
Yeah. If they go out, you die immediately. You don't start losing your health.
Yeah. So this is the first town of the game. It's explorative, and you just go around talking. It's a safe spot.
Mm-hmm.
And on the map you can see it's marked in green, which means it's a safe place, so there won't be any enemies or anything that will harm you here. So I could continue here.
Yeah, thank you. We put in a lot of work into the background score.
Yeah, it's 4 layers, is it?
Up to 4 layers.
Up to 4 layers.
Different areas have fewer, or up to 4.
Yeah. And yeah, it's we have 2 artists on the team. It's all the sprite work and houses and tiles is made by in-house with by our artist BG, and all the backgrounds is made by an additional artist called Beerbit on Twitter. He's called Fabian. Really talented, both BG and Fabian. So this is Gurf, and he'll only allow us to pass through the next area if we found a map and we talk to the old lady at the beginning of the game. And if I want to be extra sure, I can go to this screen and save. Always gotta save.
Yeah.
Fabio. Yeah. Yeah.
And also we have elevators now.
Yeah.
This is going to be used primarily for taking you between certain areas. And most of the time they're going to be gated by something, and you have to unlock them in the world. Yeah.
It's an easy way to transport the player between 2 different areas. And yeah, this is the garden area. It's Castle Gardens, I think it's called. Yeah. And it will transport us to the first objective of the game soon. Yeah, his red nose is good. We actually redone his portrait. I don't know for sure if we updated that, because we have portraits for all the NPCs, and yeah, his was remade for some reason. and you can enter houses, although this is quite tempting,
Yeah.
and we'll explain later.
Mhm.
You can save, and you can go up here, and this scary statue. And here, if you want to try, you won't be able to make it that jump, but falling down into the next screen won't kill you, but you need to utilize this little thing going up here.
It's the first little puzzle.
Mm,
So having this story directly related to Awakening, or is it going to be a brand new story that is separate?
that's
Do we have an answer for that?
not really.
No.
Well,
We kind of have an answer, but we don't really want to say.
Yeah, I can't talk and play.
Yeah.
So this is some statues are alive and some aren't. So this guy will charge at you, and you can either kill him like this, but he'll engage you. So it's a bit more. We try to make the enemies a bit more challenging. But this is just the first, so it's quite easy. And I've played this game a gazillion times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
Thank you.
BG who did all the sprite work.
Yeah.
So this is the second pickup. You get them quite earlier in this game.
Yeah.
This is only the demo. The main game is a bit more longer than this, but we kind of noticed that the game is even better when you have all the magic. So now you can press LB, I think it is on an Xbox One controller, and switch between the lightning bolt and the green block.
Can you jump up the ladder, or is it like Awakening where you just drop? You drop. You can't jump up the ladders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just protecting his statue friends.
Oh no,
Uh-oh.
I only have one. Oh no. So I could swap to my lightning bolt and then attack him quite. And here you have to use the block in order to make it up this gap here.
Yeah.
And you can break the block if you want to, and which is something we had in the first game as well. Yeah, so here's something we've added. We had the first game.
Mhm.
I Was Awakening had a lot of secret walls, and this game also has it.
Mhm.
But they aren't in the main path, which was a lot of the common complaints for the first game. So there are more like in this game that you can actually find them like this, and just an optional collectible stuff. But who knows? There might be some hidden.
Main path walls.
Yeah. Now I'm getting all excited having hidden walls. So this is another sealed off place you can't enter, but we saved here, so everything's good. So now we're falling down, and now we're back at the start, but we're on the left side of this instead.
Can I get out? You drop. Yeah. If you could have jumped, it would have changed, messed up way too much stuff if you could jump on the ladders.
So these are jumpers, and I don't know how well you can hear the sound effects, but for this game we have real, in quotation marks, sound effects. Like the sound effects we had for Alwa's Awakening are done in the same Family Tracker, the same music tool all the music is done in. But these are actual sound effects, like
samples.
Yeah, samples, and they are digital in that sense that they are remade digitally. But some are recorded, some are remade from user recorded sounds and stuff like that. All are of course made for our game, so there aren't any free assets or anything like that. But this is someone biting, and these are quite annoying. But you need to make it through here. So this is another elevator,
Yeah.
which will take us to another place.
Another area.
Yeah.
Won't spoil.
And this is also one of the screenshots we released.
Yeah.
We spent forever trying to finalize the screenshots the week before we announced the Kickstarter. Yeah, you might want to mention if anyone wants to try this demo, how they will go about it.
Right. Currently we have a beta backer tier on our Kickstarter. And if you back that, you'll gain access to this demo, which will hopefully be done by the end of this week. Can't promise anything, but it's looking good. So if you want to try the demo out, you should definitely do the beta backer on Kickstarter.
Yeah, definitely. And you'll be able to give us feedback as well. Because there's still time to fix stuff. Like we probably won't be able to fix bigger stuff. Like we won't be able to change huge stuff. But there's a lot of stuff we can still alter depending on your feedback. Someone can please post the Kickstarter link if someone has it ready. So here's another thing. We won't show too much here. I'm just gonna get rid of these guys. This is live as well, right?
Yeah.
Always use the lighting. Thank you, Chili Billy. That's very nice of you. So this puzzle requires some things in order to open that door. It doesn't hide anything, I can see now.
Yeah.
But in the final version, it'll hide something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, you need to combine the different buttons in this game in order to solve the puzzles.
We have a lot of those puzzles now where there's multiple buttons on a screen and you need to figure out how to press all of them at the same time. To make a bit more advanced, a bit more complex puzzles. So we have quite a bit of those.
Yeah, and those are actually quite fun because it takes some time designing them, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty cool to seeing you actually trying to figure everything out, how to get everything there.
Yeah, some of them test your mind power and some of them test more of your reflexes or being able to press buttons quickly. So there are a huge variety of those type of puzzles.
This is our Super Mario room, someone said.
Yeah.
Like we have 3 piranha flowers. Yeah, thank you so much, Lear Exaggerate. It's very kind of you. That would mean the world if you do that, because we're still in the midst of the Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, in Alwa's Awakening, when you enter the castle, you pretty much just either rode an elevator or just walked through a side screen and then you were in the castle. But for this game, we have these massive things going on. Liar Exaggerate. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would be good. When you die, do you still get sent back to the last checkpoint like in Awakening?
Yes, you do. But we do have, like you do in Awakening as well, we have something called, what do we call them? In the gameplay settings.
Yeah, we don't call them...
Called assist mode.
Yeah, I'm not sure we should call it that in the final version, but yeah. We have the quick respawn.
Yeah.
And what does that do?
Quick respawn, it lets you respawn in the same screen that you died in.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go back to the checkpoints. Yeah, so that's our... If people don't want to spend that time running back to checkpoints, you just want to beat the game quickly, you can use the assist mode for that.
Yeah. So if I were to die in this room, I would just respawn here.
Yeah.
But we're not going to use that now. So I'm going to turn it off. I almost missed this guy here. He normally doesn't stand like this. Stand here. Hey, Differ. Differ is one of the heroes that helped us finalize Alwa's Awakening. He did a trailer for Alwa's Awakening back in the good old days. That was 2016. So thank you so much, Differ, for that. Thank you so much, Liar Exaggerate, for your support. Yes, so this is another one of our temp dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Should we...
Yeah, you can talk to him.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So this is basically how the game has been for the last year or so. Like every time you talk to a character, they say something like this. So this is what I say the first time we meet. And this is what I say if you don't carry 3 rose petals. Come back when you have 3 instead. So he just says how he just talks the truth.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the demo, haven't really decided about this, but there are things called rose petals. Let's talk about those when we find them, I guess.
Yeah.
If we find them.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But if we find them, we can bring them back to this guy, John Baptiste.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty
really good name.
It's a really good name.
Oh, thank you, Differ.
Thank you so much, Dever. Yeah, awesome job on that trailer. We actually kind of deconstructed your trailer for when we did the Legacy trailer. Like, looked at how did you do it so good and what could we reuse for our Legacy trailer. So that was really good. So here's... it's gonna be hard not to...
It shows the secondary behavior of the of the statue here.
I like the fact that he hit me through the block.
Yeah,
Is that
it's a
intentional?
little bit temporary, so don't play around with those physics too much.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like blocks, so he shovels them away with his pitchfork.
Why doesn't he like blocks?
I don't know, man. He really wants his clean planes up there.
He looks quite exaggerated. Yeah, so that guy helped us push that button, which opened the door, which I can now use in order to reach this.
Wall jump is gun, I'm guessing. Wall jump is gun. I think I've removed it about 4 times in this game, but wall jump is definitely gun right now.
Yeah.
We'll see how long it's gone for.
So these green buttons only work on our gemstone, which is this green block. So watch out for this. Pretty cool. How about that? We even had sound.
Yeah.
Let's destroy that. Shouldn't it pop back if I destroy that?
Maybe.
Shovel
Knight.
What's Shovel Knight? And I know what Shovel Knight is, but I mean, what's
what's Shovel Knight?
No, I mean, what's our reference to Shovel Knight is?
Yeah, I don't know.
They have buttons.
I guess they have a button connected to a door.
Please let us know. It wasn't intentional.
No.
We did everything we could, because everyone said when we did Alwa's Wake, no, it looks like Shovel Knight. Now we did everything we can to not look like Shovel Knight. The first time we were showing it, they were, oh, it's Shovel Knight. Someone should at least call it Shovel Knight Dig, or whatever that new digging game is called.
Alright, first castle.
Yeah, and it bubble jumping is still possible though. Well, maybe it is, maybe it's not. You should
don't know.
Try that demo and see if you can get it to work.
Yeah.
The game also saves each time you enter a castle, which is interesting, because then you won't be able to death warp. But yeah, this is the first castle. It's called Rose Castle. Doesn't have anything really to do with the roses. But here's a ladder I can't reach. Maybe you want to play now.
Sure.
We're switching players now.
Alright.
Can we get the skeleton as an amiibo? Yes.
Definitely.
That's definitely gonna happen.
So you can tell now also with the dungeon, like you saw here in the previous room, it's a lot more challenging. Immediately you get thrown on a tiny platform with spikes all around you. So entering a dungeon is gonna be a constant, intense moment, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah, it's we've tried to make so each of the different castles have more of a unique quirk, a more unique mechanic, or something new in each dungeon, so you're not just going through the same tile swap, the dungeon as you did in the Awakening. That was kind of the NES style, that you had the tile swap and you reused assets, but we don't reuse any assets. We haven't done any palette swapping in this game, I think. Not that I know of. Nope. We should probably ask our pixel artist, but no, there aren't really. All areas are super unique.
So here's one of our more bigger puzzles. Also, here's a scrolling room that we have now.
Yes.
So we have added these rooms that pop up sometimes. You can see on the map on the far left there are scrolling rooms that cover 2 areas. And yeah, we try to utilize them for different sort of things. And right now it's used for a wide puzzle that covers 2 screens. So let's see how we beat this puzzle.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
It's gonna be really hard for me to figure this one out.
Yeah.
So as you can see, this fire-breathing guy broke that stone door, but he does not break those green blocks. So you need to move that out of the way.
So he breaks the one stone block, but not the other stone block.
Not these green ones.
Ah, okay.
It's the color.
Is it the color? Okay,
Yeah.
it protects them. Maybe they're magic.
Yeah. And I added a little temporary effect up there just for the demo players.
Yesterday you could jump on that platform without going to this side.
Yeah.
Now you have to go all the way here, because I remade the level. Is there going to be a death count like in Awakening? Yes, there is a death count.
Yeah.
It's not a game over screen in that sense.
Maybe I could show it right here.
Yeah.
So here's us dying for the first time.
Getting slayed by a skeleton. Will it work?
I don't know.
We did turn off assist mode, I hope.
There you go.
Yeah, so at the bottom left you can see death count 1. Yeah.
So up here is something, also something new.
Yeah. So these are we tried to create like additional puzzles in the level. So here you can see Zoe, the main character, controlling this block. This puzzle is very simple, but there are a few more that's a bit more technical.
This one is mostly to help you learn the controls.
Yeah. So your objective is just to move that magic block up to that blue thing over there. Nice healthy UI. Yes, it was remade like not that long ago by our pixel artist. And yeah, we had the game over screen when we started development of the game. So you had a game over, set a game over and death count, and then you could just continue playing. But we thought since this is a more of a, as we call it, modern retro game, that you immediately just get back thrown back into the action. You don't need to wait for anything to respawn or anything like that. Yeah, so it's all designed by BG. Any news on the stretch goals? No. We'll announce stretch goals once we're about to reach our first goal.
Yeah.
So we don't want to look like.
We want to make sure that they're good.
Yeah.
Before we throw anything out there.
Yeah. Can you go down? You see that question from Twin Mega?
So if I go to transparent when the sprite gets close to it. Oh yeah. That's right.
That was also something we added like quite recently.
So if you climb close to the UI or get close to it, we hide it just so you can see where you're going.
Yeah.
We try to avoid keeping the player up there, but sometimes it's unavoidable, so we added that just in case.
Yeah, that was like a 5-minute fix, and it helped a lot. Everyone who sees it is like thinks it's very cool. The mana bar would look better if it fills up like water and not blocks, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, the thing is, it is intentional, the reason why it fills up like that.
Yeah.
And once you really need to play the game a whole lot in order to realize why, I guess. But
yeah.
once you do, you'll realize why it's divided in blocks.
And here we also added this recently. We call these pop-up ladders, which is unique to this dungeon. So right now we have some crystals you can punch, which spawns those ladders, and they're saved. So you can use these to easier get back and traverse through the dungeon. Like right now I can go down and beat up the skeleton and go back up again. So there's a little shortcut you'll unlock to make it easier to explore the dungeons later on. However, I can get back up here. This is newly added rooms.
Yeah, before you go back, the thing is, everything is tile based, as you can see, so we can jump a certain amount of heights and use that. And we constantly go through and change all this, and this platform needs to be one tile lower in order to. And sorry about that.
Yeah, but it's fine.
That's stuff you notice when you. It's hard to see when you're doing the level design. Like I've tried to come up with ways, but the thing is, there's so many different combinations. If you have the block, you have the bubble, you have the different upgrades which you can have later, and different items you find. So it's almost impossible to know how to design for all of the different events that can concur. That's why we add it to the game, we play the game, and I make a note that lower that tile. It's like a 2-second fix.
Yeah.
Yes, tile-based is good. Tile-based games are awesome and fun to work with. To get back on the HUD up there, what was kind of annoying at the start was that when we designed Alwa's Awakening, everything in the room was up to use. Like you could place ladders and stuff everywhere. But in this, the top area here, the top left, is always kind of can't really be used. And if you place a ladder there, it's almost gone unless you make it very tall.
We placed buttons under the HUD way too many times, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we're constantly going through and removing stuff that's placed underneath the HUD. We haven't really come up with a proper way to show it. Isaac is just flying through the levels here.
Yeah.
It's almost like you played it before. You might want to talk a little about how we worked with the lights. I don't know how much it will show on the stream, but
Yeah, so we have a light system. I can actually reduce the brightness settings a bit, and you'll see it much clearer. So Zoe and for example, like the light sources and all the enemies all have a like a light source all around them, just to make it easier for the player to see what they're supposed to be focusing on. So yeah, so we worked a bit with that, and it's been kind of like a balance on how much stuff should be glowing and how much shouldn't be glowing, and it's a fine balance that we keep adjusting all the time.
yeah.
But it does help the game, help stuff pop out a bit more, like these light sources around here.
Yeah, the lightning kind of took very long for us to first realize how we should implement it, because do you do it in the code, or do you do it on the items, or do you do it in levels? It was kind of like a very long time to actually figure out everything out. And we have like the background is the pillars in the background. We shouldn't light on those, and we have all of these things going on.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard designing a light system for pixel art games, because there's a lot of people that are really true to the whole pixel, which we are as well. But if you want to make a pixel perfect lighting system, that would date the game. So this is kind of modern, like it doesn't really comply to the pixel grid.
Yeah.
But everyone we've showed it to likes it, so we decided to go with a more modern lighting system. I like to see lighting to be a bit brighter in the castles and closed-in areas, and less bright outside and bright areas.
Yeah, that's how it works right now.
Yeah.
And you can adjust it on your own, how much brightness you want, and some people might not want the light effect at all. They could almost completely turn it off.
Yeah.
Also, I just picked up the second or third ability right now, which is the blue gemstone. And with this you can create bubbles, which is an ability that's coming back from the first game. So we have a little tutorial for that. And much like the first game, you can jump up with them and use them to move around. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of customization options, we have this setting as well, which turns off all the background art, which is just used for people with seeing disabilities.
Yeah.
So this should work. Could have worked better, but this screen is more clear that it turns off a lot of stuff. So it makes it more easier to read, like if you're having problems seeing and your eye vision is impaired, you could use that setting in order to see more clearly. And that works in outside as well.
Yeah, outside it removes all the background and puts it to a solid color.
Yeah. So you can basically play the game with your HUD turn off and the background turn off if you want to. So yeah, we've looped back now to the beginning, but now we have this cool upgrade. And we've finished another ladder here.
So now we've explored the entire bottom left side there, which means we should probably move over to this unexplored area.
Yeah.
Probably.
Are spikes an insta-kill? No, they are not. We have dungeons that have insta-kill, but they are very... they're not that common compared to the first game.
Yeah, and we tried to keep them a bit fair to have them close to checkpoints, so people don't have to move too far to get to those challenges that can instantly kill you.
Yeah. Michael, do you have any inspiration or person you look up to when it comes to level design? Beside Kid Icarus, I think it was. I have to be boring and say no, I don't really have any person I look up to.
Yourself?
No, the thing is, like, when we did Awakening, we spent a lot of time just researching level design and making sure we took a lot of inspiration from the good old classic Metroidvanias and games like that. But basically, the inspiration for this game was the first game. Like, we didn't really look at other games in that sense. A few, but mostly we took everything that we wanted to improve from the first game, and that kind of was the starting point for this game, I say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to follow some other level designers on Twitter, but I don't really know of any, I'd say. So, what are we doing now?
We're hitting these crystals. As you can see, this ladder is you keep stacking on. It's the same ladder from below, from before.
Yeah, we've added this 2 days ago. It's the longest ladder in the history of our game.
Yeah.
And we might even add an achievement for climbing that ladder.
Yeah.
Thank you, Piggy Massacre. I know you're just poking fun, but that means a lot. I look up to you as well. Pig Massacre here is actually in the game. He's a co-worker and a friend. Does the left circle in the HUD besides the mana bar do anything? Yes, it does. We'll get to that shortly. Yeah, assist mode is useful. Here's also something new, which this little rose thing here. But this will be in the full game.
Mm-hmm. You won't tell you anything about it.
No, we won't tell anything. So yeah, now we're on the top floor.
Yeah, we're on a little crossroad here, so you can choose if you want to go to the right or if you want to go up.
I think we should go up, I guess.
Yeah, I think this is... well, maybe we should go to the
right up.
Yeah. It's almost like we know something.
Yeah, it's almost like we've played this game. How many times did you play this demo today?
I played this 6 or 7 times today.
Yeah, and I was busy in a meeting.
Yeah.
having coffee and talking stuff, and you were here working. No, but I spent an eternity yesterday trying to polish up everything for this stream. It takes a noticeable more time to style stuff in this game compared to Awakening. Like each of these tiles are individually placed. Like it takes forever.
Yeah. Also, these are the shielder enemies. I don't think I've explained those.
No.
And they shield you if you try to hit them from the front. You can see the little shield will light up. And they will also shield your lightning bolt. So the strategy for these people is to jump over them, hit them from the back, and they drop their shield. So now I can hit them from the front again.
I think it's hilarious the skeleton's shield goes flying when you whack him. Yeah, that's big, I guess, as well. So yeah, you want to take this?
Right now we got our first ability in the game, which are not magical spells. They are an extra thing. This is like the addition to the magic in Alwa's Legacy. So this is the first one called the Shield ability, and they will let you walk on top of spikes. So this shield protects your feet. So right now I can activate it, and you see this little glow effect, and it will let me safely walk on the spikes while it's active. And you have to recharge the ability to be able to use it again.
In the same room.
Yeah. But you can it will also recharge whenever you leave a screen here. So you'll see on the top left, it pops back up and it got recharged. And this is just to help keep the flow of the game going. So if you use it right here, move into the next screen, it will be recharged immediately, so you can use it.
Yeah, and it also it'll stop being active if you leave the room.
Yeah.
So basically, the whole ability system is meant to be used once in a room, and if you mess up or if you don't do it correctly, you can recharge it and try again. And if you just leave the room, it'll automatically be recharged.
Yeah.
So you should never really worry about recharging too much unless there are specific puzzle rooms where you need to use them twice in a room. Hello, Cassetteband69. That's a good.
It's a really good name.
Good username. Love the animation. Love the animation when you swing the magic staff. Yeah, there's a little subtle. It changes depending on which magic you have.
Yeah. So the green block has green, blue has blue, and lightning has the yellow tint.
And here's a technical how this works compared to the first game.
Yeah, that's a good question. I didn't work on the first game, so I can't say.
No, like we learned so much from making the first game. So this is done in code. Like we have the animation, and we can draw color on the animation.
Yeah, I think
code.
I think it's gray or something to begin with.
Yeah,
and then we put the color on top of the gray.
Yeah, and that helps a lot. Because you don't have to redo the animations for stuff like that. And that's something we learned throughout the development.
Yeah. It's another one of those block sliding puzzles.
Yeah. So, yeah, I removed that.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll explain. Yeah, it's supposed to be destroyed if you touch the spikes. But I realized that we need to... yeah, it's going to be like that. I just fixed something. Yeah. Sorry to share this on the...
Really exposing ourselves now.
Yeah.
So here's something also that we're added in this game. Some buttons will have these little events that will show you that a door opened in another room. I don't know if we have too many of these in the game at the moment.
No, there are a few. Like, it's cutscenes. It just helps us to, you know, have a button in one room and then show an action in another room without everything breaking. Although it might sound not that too complicated, it's a lot of work getting it to work. Yeah, so what we did now is we opened this little door here. Yeah. That's a slick little cutscene. Yeah, it is.
This room.
Yeah, so here's like one of the more challenging rooms. You can snipe them from a distance, I guess, but it's quite narrow, and this statue will fire on you. And these guys will block you, and that guy will shoot you, and the spikes are... but this helps if you have the shield ability. Yeah. Because if you fall down...
Yeah, you could actually enter this room before you get the shield ability.
Yeah.
And that will make it so that you have the spikes below you as well as a danger.
Yeah, so we wanted to... that was one of the tougher things by designing this game, that after this dungeon ends, which we don't have in the demo, but the game opens up and you can take any castle in any way you want, which kind of make it hard to design because you never know what power-ups the player will have. So we try to design the game so when you have different power-ups, it helps you get an advantage or a shortcut or something like that. So this room would be a heck lot of worse if you didn't have the shield ability. Like the Symphony of the Night sounds of doors opening in other rooms. Nice. Yes. This is also new. We have a whole sound designer for this game. You might want to say what you did here. You combined a lot of...
So I had to combine all the 3 different buttons in this room. So up here on the top right we have this green block that I had to push all the way to this green button. And this needs to be pressed at the same time as my block is on that button and I'm on this button. So it's another one of those 3 button puzzles that will be in the game.
Yeah. And has anyone on the team played Elliot Quest? No, I haven't, but I know of it and I think it looked pretty cool. I'm yet to buy it though. Yeah, so we had a separate sound designer, Joel Bille. I used to work with Joel Bille on my previous job, and he's done sound design on a couple of Zoink games. So he done Flipping Death. He didn't do. No, he did Stick It to the Man, and he did Zombie Vikings, and he did Fia, which was published by Electronic Arts. So that's kind of cool to have someone who's a professional, so to speak, to work with us. And he done all the sound design, implementation, and QA for this. And it's not, since we have the music on now, you're not able to hear it, but there's like this ambient sound in all areas as well, where you can basically play the game without any music on, and it's gonna be enjoyable.
Yeah,
it's actually very enjoyable without music, although the music soundtrack is great as well.
Thought of making it so you stand on enemies' heads with the shield ability. We have talked about standing on enemies' heads quite a bit. We talked about putting the block on their head, and we talked about standing on their head, and certain enemies that you could walk on their heads on. I'm not too sure where we currently are with that. I don't want to say too much about any future enemies, but we have thought about it, absolutely.
And here's a funny thing with the Kickstarter as well. We've the top tiers, like the super expensive tiers, which we were very thankful that someone backed us on. There are 5 of them. There are going to be 5 new enemies in the game, and maybe one of those will be something you can stand on their head. Maybe a big old blockhead or something like that. But yeah, that is a cool idea actually. Are there any timed button puzzles? Yes, there is.
Yeah.
And they are combined with colored. We call them color puzzles when we have to combine different buttons. And they are combined with timed. Yes. You should be able to use the enemy's shield to shield surf. Yeah, that was actually one. Not an idea, but a joke we had.
It's been talked about a lot more than you'd think.
Yeah, did we pass the chest? Yeah, we must have passed the chest.
We did.
Yeah, okay, we passed the chest before. We were too busy talking, so we forgot to mention it.
Yeah.
In each dungeon there is a chest, and that has different goodies. Those are basically optional, but we can show what happens if you go down here. This is the first time I'm seeing the levels in the game, because I did them early this morning. So yeah, you can destroy this, and what happens now?
Bam. Turn off the light.
Yeah, so you want to find these 3 crystals in each dungeon, and that will unlock certain goodies in each dungeon, which is basically if you want to complete everything and explore a lot as your reward. And it's going to contain different goodies in each dungeon. So yeah, this is the new room as well. I haven't seen this. I did this morning, so I'm not sure if it works. Does it work?
It does work.
Good, because and these are new enemies as well. We should just
try It's called Kluki.
Yeah.
And they look for Zoe, and if she's beneath them, they'll start firing the projectiles at her. And there's a secret little trick to them as well, where if Zoe's crouching.
And this is underused. We have this cool feature, and we really haven't done much with it.
Yeah.
Should do more with it.
Yeah. But they're really dangerous, and they have this cool little animation when you kill them as well, where their robe and their lantern will fly away and slowly soar down. And we also have another enemy in here as well.
Yeah, this is another enemy. And this is the cool thing. These are called inhalers. And
yeah, there's 2 of them placed on the same height right now, which you're not supposed to do that.
Oh, I didn't know that was an issue. Okay, so can we do that again?
Yeah.
You can see a bug. I didn't know this was. Oh, okay.
So they inhale your bubble.
And both do it at the same time?
Yeah, so they both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they both replace your bubble with separate sprites. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really not a bug. That's just me placing inhalers on the exact same tile. If we put them one tile away, that's going to be a problem. But the reason we have these is because in Alwa's Awakening there are similar kind of enemy that kind of fires your bubble, just to make sure people doesn't use the bubble when they're not supposed to. So instead of doing the same enemy, we have these inhalers, and if you do it one more, you listen to the sound. It's actually you, Billy, our sound designer, who's burping. Very nice. It's good.
Yeah,
it's good sound. That's what our monument.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those are cool, and these are the same enemies that had smoke in their mouth earlier. But if they have smoke, they'll fire.
They've eaten something hot.
Yeah, these should probably have bubbles. That would probably be cooler.
One of those crystals for the ladders.
Yeah.
So what's the solution here? Since these inhalers prevent you from going up.
Oh yeah. Didn't really think about that. Those sneaky secret.
Yeah. Secret wall.
Can you actually make this jump? Whoa, that's.
Mm-hmm.
And this. Okay, this is what you get when you do level design and you don't properly get to. Fortunate enough, Isaac has tested that. So now we have the key. Is Imagine No Sound Guy's room burping in a mic? Yeah, that's exactly how it was. Yeah, exactly.
So this is the room we were at before, where we went to get the shield ability here on the right side. So we loot back again, but on the left side to get the key.
Yeah, so we were here before, but we didn't have the key. So now we want to go. We can actually make this jump. You're supposed to go on the right side, but we're pro players, so we can go this. And now you're in. So now we can unlock this door, and yeah, we can go on the right here. And as you can see, the ability recharges itself. So, but some rooms you have to manually recharge it if you want to.
Should we show them?
Yeah, we should, I think.
So here you see the progression is to go to the ladder on the left side there. But
Hey-o.
secret walls.
Secret walls in this game. Who would have thought?
Immediately get attacked by these.
But yesterday there were 3 guys firing, yeah, and replaced one of the firing guys with a skeleton instead. Yeah, the refill animation is big again. It's really cool. And there are a bunch of secret walls in this area.
This area is a secret area, so to speak.
Yeah, it's optional.
Yeah.
So here's another one of those block slide puzzles, and normally you'd have more spikes and they would instantly destroy the block. But I wrecked that yesterday, this morning. So this puzzle is quite simple at the moment, but it's going to be harder in the final version.
Here you get a rose petal. Ouch. And you also get hit. So, do we want to explain the rose petals?
Yeah, I guess so. You can upgrade your health. The guy we talked to at the beginning of the dungeon, he stood outside the dungeon door. A gardener, Jean-Baptiste is his name. If you bring him 3 rose petals, you can upgrade your health. Which is also useful if you want to balance the difficulty a bit.
Yeah.
So if you want to explore more and find more upgrades, it's going to be easier if you want to use them on spending them upgrades. So yeah, now we got that, and there's a missing tile in the ceiling there. Oof. How about that?
We have this little puzzle.
Any cameos in Legacy? Yes, there is one game, and there are a bunch of people we know. If you're fishing for your own cameo differ, we haven't, unfortunately. You have to gonna settle with the first game. He's an NPC in the Awakening.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, one game and a few people we know, and all the characters are named after different people we know or references. So yeah, now we got the second crystal, and can we make it up and about? We should be able to go.
Should we go?
Need to go up and about, up and around.
Oh yeah. Yeah, since now I have the. Last time I was here, I didn't have the shield ability, so I couldn't pass over these spikes.
Yep.
Since I do now, it's easy.
Risky move. Have you moved the mana bar further down, or is it just me imagining?
I have not.
Okay.
That is not to say it isn't moved further down.
So here's the third and last crystal, and we were in this room earlier, but we
didn't talk about the chest.
So if things work now, we should be able to open this. Yeah, how about that? And there you got something green.
Yeah.
We should probably remove that.
Yeah, you should probably remove that, because that could break this demo.
Yes. Interesting. So yeah, now we've opened that chest, and we've explored all areas in this map, but I'm noticing one is broken.
Yeah.
Let's
not talk about that.
The thing is, with the map, it takes a lot of work fixing one room. Like, it's a complex tool to use.
Yeah.
So each time we upgrade the room, which happens all the time, we move them around, and then we have to go back and update the map, and we don't really do that all the time. I love this treasure chest idea. Yeah, thank you so much. It's just a little fun thing for those who want to explore a bit more.
Yeah, a bit of a reward for the exploring kind of player.
Yeah. I think it'd be funny if the enemies that flew out of enemies' hands could hit other enemies. Yeah, that would be cool. Shouldn't be that hard, I guess.
It really isn't.
No.
Just turn them into projectiles.
Yeah. So now we have to hike all the way back. Since we derailed just outside one of the rooms we had, we need to go this way in order to get back on track. But the last part we just explored now is just for those who want to get adventurous and find everything in the castle.
And we passed through a couple of secret walls as well to get back there.
Yeah. You might want to show the ability wheel as well, although it's not really...
Right.
Yes, you can pick up different abilities in the game. Right now we only have the shield ability, but in the final game there's going to be more abilities, and you're going to have to press R and then select which one you want to use. And they all work the same way. You use them, and if you want to use them again in the same room, you recharge them. And they do different cool stuff.
And they have their separate, the separate cooldown or separate usage from the mana meter and the other spells.
Yeah, we did a lot of testing in order to improve that system, but we decided to just have them separately, so you don't never have to worry about if it's recharged or nothing. And adding that recharge in each screen swipe really helps.
Yeah.
So here's one of the few rooms where you actually need to recharge mid-room, and that's the reason for that. That ladder should probably be a bit further down.
Yeah, it's a little bit hidden. Here's a typical example of you place a ladder in a room, you think that's fine, and then don't think about the UI being in place.
Exactly.
Oh, thank you, Hello Comics, for the raid.
Thank you. Loving everything so far. Well done. You should be all really proud of your work you done. Thank you so much. The thing is, this is a massive game for a 3-person studio. We're actually just 3 people in-house. We have our help from an intern, and we had help from external artists, both music, sound design, and art. But still, we're a super small team, and this is a massive game.
Yeah.
This is just one temple out of a lot, and there are outdoor areas and all that. So yeah, we're even in this state. We have many months left of development. We're really proud of how far we've come.
Mm-hmm. And here on the right now you see a boss door.
How about that?
For the first boss.
Yeah.
So do you want to play or should I play the boss?
Will I be able to defeat it? Because he's tampered with it.
I've been tampering with the boss for quite a bit now, and it'll be interesting to see if you manage to beat him.
Okay.
So this is the Imprisoned King, which is the first boss of the game. And yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't played this boss lately, but... yeah, so you need to be quick on your feet in order to switch between the different magic uses and the recharge, and... yeah, at least I can get a hit or two in.
There's a pattern to find this. He's currently in development.
Yeah, I can
much.
probably hit him with my... oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That wasn't intentional.
Nah,
I stood up too early, right?
Nah, there's a bug.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the assist mode we talked about. If you want to, you could just... we have this pop-up if you want to, so you don't have to manually change them.
Game too hard for the devs. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, Isaac does all the balancing, so and I don't really have always have time to feedback properly.
I got a lot of feedback on this boss just a couple of weeks ago that he was too easy, so I cranked it up to 11 on all ends.
Or goes to 11.
I think he looks more intimidating than he actually is. I say that, the one who's been playing multiple hours on this boss.
Yeah, he blocks the projectiles with my projectile, so... Mother Jesus Christ. Okay, I should probably talk less and play more, I guess.
Play more.
Not that we have any rush to be.
He looks intense but fun. Yeah, I'm trying when I do the design for the boss. When we do the design for bosses, it's really like this balance on between having them be too hard, purely like how fast you are at the bottom wise, and also having them be too easy, so you just breeze through them. So right now, if you take it easy on this boss, you should be able to beat him quite easily.
Yeah.
But he has a lot of attacks like this, where he just covers the screens with projectiles. And it's more to make it look intimidating than anything else.
Yeah, a lot of spikes going on here, and I'm not sure how many hits I can get.
I think 2 is about safe.
Yeah.
Will I be able to beat him here? Oh!
Okay.
You got him.
Okay, so this is that's the boss item.
Yeah, and
what an anticlimactic.
yeah.
Oh, blurry and stuff. But yeah, that was the demo. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we are live on Kickstarter, and we need all the help we can get in order to finish it. We have a steady pace, but we still need a lot more help. Thank you so much, Maxine Magic Fox, and thank you Manas Bert, and thank you Chili Bills and everyone else who looked. Can someone? Oh yeah, Chili Bills. Already ahead of us.
Already got the link.
Yeah. So if you want to have this demo, once we're funded, you will have this demo but an improved version of it, where you could play the first, what is it, 4 areas? 3 areas? 3 areas, right? Well, 3 areas in
3
town.
areas, yeah.
Yeah. And the first castle and poke around in the game. Yes, we should do that. Put link in the Twitch page, do it. Yeah, and this is one of the tiers. But if you just want to throw $1 at us, we'd be thankful for that as well, because the demo tier is 350 Swedish kronor, I think, which is about $35. 350, right?
I think so.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll actually be streaming again next week. We're probably gonna, or just record this and play it.
Yeah, just play it back. Just make sure you ask the same questions.
Yeah. And no, we're gonna play the final version of the demo next week again, I guess.
Yeah.
We haven't really decided that part yet.
We might talk about some more technical stuff.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
If you wanna ask some questions or something for the stream, you could do that. I guess for that.
Yeah. We could probably see if we can have some questions prepared, and we can have some. We haven't really had time to prepare this too much because we're busy with building the demo and doing the Kickstarter stuff and all that. But yeah, I don't think we have anything else to show. It wouldn't be fun to play the same game demo again, and we need to make the game.
Mm-hmm. Don't want to spoil it too much either. There's been a lot of stuff we've been keeping secret during this play session as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been fun because we've been streaming different games, me and Isaac, now for a couple of months, weeks at least, but almost months, and numerous occasions we've said the first game when we referred to Alwa's Awakening numerous times.
Yeah. Nobody's caught us yet.
And now it feels good to actually be able to say the first game without being all scared afterwards.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else to add?
No. Tune in next week.
Yeah.
For another play session of this demo.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a good time, everyone. Thanks so much. Bye. Cheers.